Yes guys, welcome again to this channel, and today we will be looking at how political landscape has been shaped in the entire week. Let me note first that President William Ruto has been a very busy president in the past week. He has had a myriad of issues that he has been handling. I will look at them critically and analyze how he has responded to them and what are the repercussions of his actions. Now, these issues are four. One is the corruption scandals that have started hitting his government. We know that there's been that sugar scandal. We also have the Kwanza scandal. The next issue is high cost of living. The president has received criticism from the ground where everyone is complaining about how his government has failed to keep his promise that he made to Kenyans during campaigns on ensuring that the cost of every commodity is reduced significantly.
Sasa wanataka kuraise taxes ya VAT. Saa hii wanataka kukata mishahara ya watu wananunua mortgage. Saa zingine wanasema sijui.
Another issue that I will look at is the finance bill and the repercussions and how it affects William Ruto's presidency. And finally, the issue of struggle to contain and to take over the Jubilee party. These are the four issues that I will look at critically and analyze the effect of each. Now, to everyone who is watching us, wherever you are, we welcome you to join us together by subscribing to this channel, liking this video so that it may be recommended to a larger audience. To all Kenyans who have known how governments have been, you will realize that every past government has had a corruption scandal that has defined it. In Jomo Kenyatta's government, we had the struggle between the true Mau Maus and the Home Guards. The true Mau Maus were dispossessed of their land, and the Home Guards, who were sympathizers of the white man, became the real beneficiaries. In President Moi's government, the struggle for multipartyism and the Golden Bag scandal became the major issues that defined that presidency. In President Kibaki's government, we know that Anglo leasing became a serious corruption scandal that tested its strength and tenacity. When it comes to President Uhuru's government, there were very many corruption cases, but I will take to define it with the two. One, the SGR and the NYS. I will leave Eurobond for good reasons. We are now in the fifth government, and in this government, we have started seeing serious corruption issues in just 8 months of its existence. President Ruto has had Kemsa scandal. He also has the sugar scandal, where poisonous sugar that was confiscated by KRA and stored at a warehouse in Mombasa was secretly released through cooperation between senior members of the cabinet and selected people in different departments from KRA to the CID. And these people have ensured that this sugar has reached our shelves. Another major scandal is the KEMSA scandal. And this one is big. Why do I say this is big? Because papers are reporting that a senior member of the cabinet is involved. A senior member of the cabinet. Your guess is as good as mine. And these are the people who, with the help of the suspended PS, ensured that the specifications of the nets that were required were changed so that it could suit a certain supplier that is linked to a senior member of cabinet. The sugar scandal is also touching on a senior cabinet member from Mount Kenya and 2 MPs from the mountain. Remember, all these people involved are staunch UDA loyalists. Our eyes are out to see how will these cases be handled. But one thing we must note, and we must tell this to the president, when you decided to pick people who have a tainted past and give them serious dockets in the country, what did you expect? It is like taking a quack doctor and giving him the role of managing a whole hospital. Do you expect any good treatment from such a facility? Mr. President, you made your bed, you will lie on it. But as Kenyans, we are watching and we shall come for you at the right time. Another major issue that is facing this government is the problem of managing the Finance Bill 2023. Now, this bill has had a lot of issues around it. And in fact, I dare say that this is one of the bills that has been thoroughly scrutinized by Kenyans. Many Kenyans have sent their views to the Committee of Parliament on Budget, and many Kenyans have also given their views publicly. But 2 contentious issues coming out of this bill is the 16% fuel tax that is to be levied on fuel. We also have the 3% on housing levy that Kenyans have asked the president, what is the rationale of taxing someone who is paying a mortgage to go and build a house that he does not need, while president has struggled to justify that this is a serious issue that must be dealt with right now. It is worth noting that this is one of the strategies that the government has invented to ensure that it can find revenues to pay debt and to undertake various developmental projects that are lagging behind right now. The finance bill has raised a lot of issues, and the president himself asked, are Kenyans overtaxed? And one thing that he did wrong is going and comparing our collectible tax to GDP. And here he has failed. Why? You cannot take tax revenue and compare it to our GDP and say that our peers are overtaxed more than us. Why? Because increasing tax revenue does not necessarily mean you have to increase taxes. If you want to increase tax collection, one thing you must do is to ensure that your structures of taxation and collection of tax are more simple and efficient. And this is what Kibaki did. President Kibaki did not raise the economy through increasing taxes. He improved the efficiency of the tax collector, and he opened up the dead sectors of the economy where new ventures came in. You know, the border, you know, the increasing number of banks. Many people were encouraged to open bank accounts. Many banks came in. Media houses, many have opened up. What structure does this current government have to convince you that it is serious on expanding the tax bracket by increasing investments in the ground? I think when President Ruto talked about taxation from the beginning, his main agenda was that taxation and expanding tax bracket will be increasing taxes so that we have more revenue. But Winston Churchill said, no country has taxed itself to prosperity. And therefore, while President thinks that this method will work for him, I state that it will not work. In fact, it will just suppress our development. Why? Companies that have employees, when they are forced to pay 3% and add it, match the employees' contribution, it will render many people jobless because now redundancy will be declared. Another thing, the corporate tax, the system of taxation, withholding tax that is to be submitted after 24 hours. There is no one who will be doing calculations for tax on a daily basis. It will be tedious. It will be a problem. And also remember, the smaller, the informal sector, people in the SMEs, they have also deployed other taxmen to come down there to collect more taxes. So you'll realize that overtaxation will kill growth instead of creating opportunities for growth.
Mimi nataka niwaambie hii mafuta inaongezwa usiku na mchana. Mimi nataka niwaeleze ya kwamba these people don't understand the damage they are doing to the people and the economy of Kenya. Kwa hii taxes wanaongeza usiku na mchana. Na mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa hapa Manga, tafadhali, mkiona tumesimama hapa mbele yenu, tunawaambia ya kwamba tutengeneze hiyo serikali inakuja ambayo inaelewa lugha ya mwananchi wa kawaida. Watu wa Manga, mko tayari?
Another major issue is the issue of ever increasing cost of living. Kenyans, now you know that the price of sugar for 2 kg has increased by almost 100 shillings within 1 week. Here in Mombasa, one egg costs 20 shillings. And there are many other commodities that are very expensive. When everything has become this expensive, do you think Kenyans will have a space to breathe? When you increase taxes and inflation is high, commodities are also high in price, Kenyans are being pressed beyond their capability. The president promised lowering cost of living by ensuring that he leverages on value addition to promote quality and prices of our commodities. But this has failed. Coffee farmers are complaining that the coffee prices have reduced by almost half. In fact, someone said that when they promised guaranteed minimum returns, what they have delivered is guaranteed minimum lies. In fact, guaranteed maximum lies. We must ask the government, what was his agenda when they purposed to run for elections in 2022? This is why other governments have proposed subsidies. And when they talk about increasing the fuel prices by levying more tax on fuel, do you think Kenyans will have a space? Because everything, the price of every commodity is decided by the price at the pump. And when that fuel price increases, I must tell you that everything will have its cost increased. Therefore, the government must work to ensure that its strategies are geared towards improving the livelihood of Kenyans on a daily basis. The final issue that we were talking about today is the takeover at Jubilee Party. While many may not see, while many may not directly link the takeover at Jubilee to President Ruto, it is open to everyone that this is a political agenda that the president has set himself since the beginning. Kanigni Kega has today purported to expel Murathe and to expel Jeremiah Kioni. And while they're doing this, they're not giving press conferences from the party headquarters, from a bush somewhere. You know, they were to hold an NDC on 22nd. But what happens here is that the management of Bomas of Kenya, which was the venue initially advertised, has said that it won't be accessible due to repairs that are going on. And therefore, this is generally a political plan. It is in the interest of President Ruto that the Jubilee Party dies. When the Jubilee Party dies, President will not have any opposition from Central Kenya. And there will be no alternative party from there. You remember the party Chama cha Kazi that CS Kuria was having had folded and joined UDA. Now the only party that remains is the TSP from Mwangi Kiunjuri, which is not highly popular, and then there is the Jubilee Party. And this Jubilee Party is majorly led by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, William Ruto has stationed himself in such a way that he will fight to ensure that President Uhuru does not have control of this party. And this is how he will control the people of the mountain, he will silence them, and will ensure that no one gets the opportunity to speak against his policies in that region. Fellow Kenyans, looking at all these issues and giving them a clear analysis, it is worth noting that the president's popularity as at now is dwindling and dropping at a very fast rate. In fact, I dare say, in the first 8 months of a new government, this is the government that has had its ratings fall at a higher rate. And why did this happen? The government overpromised. The government lied and led people into believing that all these promises that were made will be fulfilled. No one is even talking about the Hustler Fund. The government itself has gotten tired of publicizing the Hustler Fund because it has not brought any change. Economy becomes harder every day. What will Kenyans get out of this government? Fellow Kenyans, we must remain vigilant and we must push that this government ensures that its promises are fulfilled, without which, when the right time comes, we shall hold it accountable and we shall tell them, you have lied to us enough and now your time is up, pack up and go to oblivion. Thank you for staying with us till the end. For everyone who has watched this video, please subscribe, join together, and let's reach 100 subscribers. Thank you. Let's meet in our next video. Thank you. Namaste.